Rogan's guests do it.
Is it?
I guess.
And they're always like, hey, get that up in your face. He's always like, get that mic up in your face.
So maybe we need an arm or something here.
Maybe. But you guys watch Joe Rogan?
I don't.
Yeah.
You know? He's always like, I don't know anymore, but like back in the day, he would always be like, oh, just get that mic up in your face. Because they start talking like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I guess he can hear it.
Yeah. Get that up in your face.
All right, let's test it.
Is this like intro music?
There you go. Welcome to the Dan, Anton, and Brad Show.
Yoo-hoo. All right, welcome everyone.
Oh my God, that sounds so legit.
Yeah, right? It does.
Oh my God,
like
what
it.
the hell was that?
Anton with all the equipment and
Professional podcast.
Dude, yeah, I got excited.
You good?
Like, I feel like I'm part of a real show. This is wild. It's insane.
our opening show.
All right.
Are we doing it? Is this happening?
Yeah.
We're all here.
Are we recording right now
Yes,
already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is like the Joe Rogan experience. That's amazing. Was that the intro too?
I mean, for now, for the first episode.
Okay.
But I have to probably like. I mean, it was a standard preset from this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it
But-
sounded like the intro to like a porno.
Porno.
Yeah,
So I'm like, man, if Brad
always-
starts taking his clothes off right now, I don't know about this.
Dan,
We
it
should-
always comes back to that.
We should probably pick a different intro song.
Definitely
Okay.
will now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
For our safety.
After
from
this
Brad.
episode.
Yeah. All right, guys. So should we do the first topic?
Yeah, let's roll it.
Yeah. How and why did you guys get into real estate? Well, for one, we should probably introduce ourselves. So you guys go first.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Anton. I've been in real estate for full time now, almost 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, I'm excited to start this podcast with my best buddies. Yeah, welcome.
Hey everyone, I am Brad. I have been doing real estate full time now for about 20 years. Which
Oh my
sounds crazy.
God, dude.
That's
20
crazy. Ages me, but yeah. This is the first time I've done anything like this too. But thank Dan and Anton for talking me into doing this. So we'll see how it goes.
Dude, you guys talked me into this. I was skeptical of this whole thing. But now that I see everybody together, seeing the setup, I kind of see the vision. I'm excited. But I'm Dan. I've been in this business for, I don't even know how many years. What, 6, 7 years now? You know?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Not close to your 20 before Anton and I were born. But it's pretty exciting business to be in. And of all places, the Bay Area too. I think we're pretty lucky. So I'm excited to kick this
Yeah,
off
I
with
think
you
we
guys.
have a lot of stories to tell.
Oh yeah.
Just being in the Bay Area and all the craziness that we see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited too because here we can be raw,
Yeah.
right? We're like,
Correct.
you know, in front of like our peers and like clients, sometimes we have to like button it up.
Yep. Yep.
Where our inner child's like, no, I have more to say on that. That's not how I truly feel. You know? So
Like my wife says, I have a lot of inner child in me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how she puts up with you. That's
I
crazy.
don't know either.
Yeah, you too.
Same thing. Yeah, I'm.
You guys are both wild boys.
Tao just mentioned this yesterday. Like, you're always so childish.
Yeah, you guys are wild boys.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so buttoned up. My wife
Really?
is so lucky to have me. Yeah, dude. I'm like constantly thinking about her well-being and making reasonable decisions,
Of course,
calculated,
of
reasonable
course.
decisions for the good of the family.
There
Right.
you go.
So,
If you look at my Instagram Reels messages I send to Jamie, all of hers are like romance, serious, and then mine are just like the things I send you guys. You know?
yeah. It's funny. Anytime you guys send me like posts or memes,
Yeah.
if I'm in a public place, I'm always like looking over my shoulder. I'm like, wait, is this okay? Like, can I? Like, if I'm at a school, I'm not gonna open your
Yeah.
open
Oh,
your
yeah.
messages.
Absolutely.
If I'm in like a public venue or a school, absolutely not.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was on Instagram and then you guys sent something and then Tina was next to me. It's like, Papa, what is that? Open it, open it. I'm like, oh, no, right. I don't think it's a good time right now. She's like, what is this? It must be funny. I'm like, no, it's work. Don't worry.
It's where as you like throw the phone out the window, like crush the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the difference between me and these two guys is these two guys have younger kids. Mine are older, so they have to worry about that more than I do.
Yeah. Actually, your kids are probably sending you stuff that's worse than ours.
Probably, yeah.
Gosh, dude. I don't understand this next generation. But
It's crazy.
with that being said, how did you guys get into real estate?
No, let's start with Brett since he is the most experienced.
yeah.
I would say.
I don't remember, man. It's been so
Well,
long.
I think they call it prehistoric. It's before like the written word.
It was
But do your best.
It was literally 2000. So I got my license like early 2000s. I was working at eBay. Didn't enjoy like the 9 to 5 being in a cube. Kind of knew that I would probably peak at middle management, you know?
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to do that in my life. And we were just about to have a baby and just kind of thinking ahead. I have family in real estate, so it was always kind of in the back of my head.
Yeah.
So
Are they successful?
Yeah, actually, my stepdad owned his own brokerage.
Oh, no shit.
And he
Didn't know
was doing it really well for many decades. So
Wow.
he was kind of always in my ear chirping about real estate. So
Right.
I kind of got burnt out in the corporate world, you know, and just dealing with just, you know, corporate BS.
Yeah.
And so the nice thing about real estate is that you're out on the field meeting people, not behind a cube all day. And so I tested it out part-time weekend warrior for like a couple years when I was at eBay
Mm-hmm.
and kind of got some traction going. And then when we had Marissa in 2005 is actually when I said, all right, that's it. I'm going to make the cut and went full-time at that point.
Did you work for your stepfather?
No. So I started off, he actually encouraged me to work with a big brand like Coldwell Banker. So I ended up with just because of all the training and all that stuff.
Okay. Because like, you know, I don't know if you're going to succeed, so I'd rather you just start with
Exactly.
Coldwell and stay away from me.
And he was totally blunt. He was like, listen, I have a system in place and it's like chaos. Like only I know how to handle things at my brokerage. Like he only had one assistant. And again, he'd been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
So he's like, if you come work with me, I don't think I'm going to give you, you know, the proper tools and the right way to approach things like a Coldwell Banker or, you know, Intero or whatever, one of the big brands would. So I started off at Coldwell Banker and did that for a few years before kind of going into different other companies.
Nice. Very cool. If you could go back and do it all over again, would you do the same thing?
I would, but I would also work under like a more seasoned agent, you know, like have a mentor.
Yeah.
Because that would have saved me a lot of time. I thought, you know, I could do it all on my own right away, kind of a young guy, hot shot, thinking I could just take over the world. But it took me a few years before I started gaining traction. And I think if I had a mentor under me, it would have been a lot faster.
Yeah. Like Abe Lincoln or something from that era.
Dave Clark was the guy.
Dave Clark. Yeah.
He was the
he's a
guy
legend.
at my office. So
Wow.
him and Worcester Chew.
Isn't that crazy? He's still doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, something happened. Oh. Am I okay?
Stop stroking it, dude.
Sorry. I'm just so excited to be here. I'm just so excited to be here, guys. Oh my God.
Yeah, you cut for a little bit. I think you get there.
Cool. Awesome, man.
What about you, Anton?
So for me, so first I started at the corporate, so I was working for Mercedes-Benz, but I think I always had this feeling for the real estate. I remember even back when I was a child, I remodeled the bathroom myself, like with some kind of like a sticky tiles.
Was it good though, or was it terrible?
No, I mean, in my eyes, it was perfect.
It was probably really
but,
good.
but the thing is, then I think like some of the neighbors and friends came over, like adults, and then and I think my mom is like, "Oh, look like what Anton did," and they're like, "What?" It's like, can he also do this for our bathroom? So then they hired me kind of to do like their bathroom. So I did this too. And then back in Germany too, I remember when I moved to one of the house and I had the room, like, I'm like, it was a horrible room. Like, I'm in an old room and I replaced the flooring myself, you know, like kind of do the paint job and everything. And then invited my friends over like after like remake and everyone like, what? It's like that looks like completely like a different place. And so I think I always said like, like kind of love to the real estate and designs and kind of like aesthetics to it. And then so when I was working at the Mercedes-Benz, our first house, Pearland, you guys all know that, yeah? So that was complete like disaster house, like a hoarder house.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hey, Bob, can you pull up the pictures? Eventually we'll have Bob.
A young Jamie, young Bob.
So, it was like complete like disaster house. So like it was pre-COVID too. So before people entering the house, like they were passing the masks. So some people were just turning around and just like walking out right away. And me and Tao, so Tao is my wife. So we're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, we can do whatever we want with this. So we got the house, and then it was like my first like a full project, like, remodel project. And I really enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed like every second of it, like, picking up the materials, managing the contractors and everything. And eventually it turned out very nice. And I was talking to people like, oh, that's what I'm doing right now. Like, and they're like, oh my God, that must be horrible. Like, I'm like, oh, no. I like it. I enjoying this. And eventually working in the Mercedes was the same thing. Like as Brett was saying, like, I mean, I probably like saw myself somewhere like, middle management, so something like that. But I always wanted to try something like on my own, like a own business. And I was thinking, okay, I'd rather try it like when I'm kind of still young versus when I'm 60. And, I always wanted it, but I never tried it.
Right.
So, so while working at Mercedes, like every morning, like 6 a.m., I was waking up and like working on the real estate license. So eventually I passed it. It took a little bit longer because I got like side drifted.
Yeah.
But I got my real estate license. And then eventually I told my boss that I'm leaving. And so I joined Elevate Group.
And the crazy thing with Anton, you were in accounting, right? Or finance?
Yeah, I was in finance, kind of finance with the software.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just picture you in more of a creative type of role. Like
Yeah,
marketing,
100%.
advertising.
But everyone on the team, like, they always like loved my presentations. They're like, oh, if like Anton has to do it because it always looks so good.
Yeah.
So even though I was in finance, I was always bringing like a creative touch to everything I did there.
Right.
And,
like fireworks and confetti.
Yeah.
Like dancers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
keeping us from Hartsburg.
But it's a funny story too, actually. Like back in Germany, when I was picking like, my college subject, I wanted to do a design initially. Like I want to be a designer. And then like I start talking to people like, what now design? Like it's a bad idea. It's like you have to go like some kind of like engineering or something, like, the finance, that's how you find the job in Germany. I'm like, I really want to do design. They're like, no. Do it like, I talked to so many people, so they convinced me. So eventually my subject was actually like a engineering. So it was like a free subject. It was like a business administration, engineering, and software engineering.
Jeez,
it was like
it
was three things in one. So I can do kind of both. So, and that's why I went to Mercedes, and that's how I kind of end up in the finance department, because I was also implementing there, like, some software systems, like, to automate stuff. And yeah.
It's funny how so many people always have opinions about what you should and shouldn't do
Exactly.
in your career and life choices, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember me too, like growing up in an Asian family, Asian household is either a doctor or engineer, right? And so when I had to tell everyone that I moved into real estate, it was like, oh my gosh, like what is he doing?
Like, what the hell did I do?
Exactly.
Like, he need to be a doctor lawyer, dude. But he do sell house. Loser.
Seriously.
Man. Yeah, dude, I could only imagine too, like, because when I think of Germany, right, I'm thinking about like disciplined, very like, right, calculating, like, and then you get Anton, he's like a flower over here, be like, I just want to design stuff. They're like, Eins.
9.
Yeah, 9. You go into engineering.
9, my friend.
It's interesting too, though, because I didn't know about that story where as a kid you were like redoing the bathrooms and stuff.
Oh yeah,
you're still doing that.
I know.
That's
and
true.
like you're doing the homes, and then people are like, whoa, dude, you did that? Can you do mine like that? That's funny.
We always joke around, but Anton should be on TV.
Yeah, 100%. You should have your own show.
Yeah, maybe before and
dude.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the whole process.
yeah. You just need like a twin brother.
Yeah.
You know, they have that like the designer.
Oh, right,
And,
right.
like, the
right,
architect
the
or whatever.
Property Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Tao can do that for me.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Like yeah. Yeah.
Or you can get
Yeah.
Kevin, the contractor.
Oh, oh my god. Oh, Kevin, I hope you see that. Huh?
Is he the good one?
Oh my god. I'll tell you later. Maybe you should not mention the
We
names.
could have a whole episode on that one.
Yeah. Oh, I met Kevin
Have you?
in Pacifica.
No, this is
Oh no,
Hawaii.
no.
Hawaii.
Hawaiian
Right.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard his legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. What about you, man?
Dude, similar story. You know what's really interesting about real estate and realtors in general, right? It's like it always seems to be like a second career, right?
Yep.
Like it's so rare to be like, yeah, man, like right out of high school, I went to real estate college and then I became a realtor. Like it's never like that. It's
Yeah.
always like usually the story is like, yeah, I was busting my ass for like 20 years in tech or whatever. And then I saw the writing on the wall and then I was like, I followed my true passion, real estate, right?
Yep.
At least the ones that stick around, But I'm the same as you. So right around, I was in corporate and I had a mentor and I was my career was pathed out and I kind of knew I was like literally probably 6 months away from like the next promotion. And essentially it was like a regional position. So, I mean, it's kind of the end of the road in that sense. And I just saw all my coworkers were all divorced and unhappy, and like, I was like, man, I'm about to have kids. I can't do that. Just living out of a suitcase, like it's just not a good, yeah, I'm sure some people could make it work. But for me, I was like, dude, I'm going to be a terrible father. I'm going to be tired all the time. I'm never going to spend any time with my kids. So I just burned all the bridges and then went into real estate. So I like, how you tested it for a bit.
Yeah.
I already knew myself. I was like, dude, I can't have any like plan Bs.
Right.
Like this has to be it.
Yeah.
And then I just remember like the first, year was hell.
Yeah.
Because I was like commuting to Burlingame for my first, at my first brokerage at KW over there. And like great people, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And so things weren't like as good as I thought they were going to be. And I just remember just driving in my car and just having like my first legit mental breakdowns and just like crying in my car, being like, oh, family.
Why did you choose all the way to Burlingame though? Like,
so
you were in San Jose, right?
What's that?
You were living in San Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We were at technology at the Sonoras.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's funny is like, I did my research and I was like, all right, who's, I want a mentor. I know that. So who's like, the coolest mentor I can find. And then I was like, oh, Alan Wang. Right. So then I started, cause at the time he didn't have a team. It was just him. And then I was like, yeah, dude, I'll work for him for free.
So do you know Alan?
I do.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. He's been
Yeah.
around.
He does a lot of business.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a powerhouse.
But like in the Burlingame area?
Like
or?
Los Altos, Palo Alto, right? I think.
Yeah. Mid Peninsula area.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember interviewing with him, and then the recruiter or whatever was like, well, what do you expect in compensation? And I was like, because we can't match, what you would make it. I'm like, dude, that has nothing. I'll do it for free. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'll clean his bathroom. I don't care. Just like, I just want to like, but it kept coming to that. Like, they kept asking me. And then even with my one-on-one interview with Alan, he kept asking me like, well, like, what do you expect in compensation? I was like, I'm open, right? Even if it's like $1 or whatever. And I remember him saying like, well, I could tell like he didn't believe me, but like, you guys know me, like I'm committed, and that fell through and I was like, oh crap, I don't know what to do. And then I got connected to this other team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were they both KW?
KW.
Okay.
Alan?
Alan was KW at the time, right?
It was a different office.
Yeah.
But that recruiter worked for this other team.
Okay.
That was like, well, I know Alan didn't, it wasn't like a good fit, I guess. But I know this other team that I think you'd be a great fit for. I was like, okay, I trust you.
And was your wife Hannah doing real estate at the time, or
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
So she was working with Chris Alston.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Got it.
but she was more in like, I mean, she did. She's an agent too, but it's kind of more on like the managing side. Yeah.
So,
But,
and she started like way before you, or like she was always in real estate?
No. So her degree's in hospitality. And so
Oh.
she was in the hotel business for a while.
Oh, okay.
And she was doing really good. She was managing departments and stuff over there. But I'd been listening to podcasts because, for my old job, it's traveling all the time. And then I'd be like in Vancouver on the weekends, going to open houses, and like listening to real estate podcasts. So I'd always be talking about that stuff. And then it was just serendipity. Her friend Mel, who has her own company in real estate, as like a like a TSA.
Yeah.
And then she just reached out to Hannah. Was like, hey, I gotta work for this guy. So she's been in it for about a year, I think.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but yeah, haven't looked back since. I think it's a scary business, but when you think about like the freedom that you get, I don't think anything out there is like comes close to matching it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, what other jobs are there aside from being like a drug dealer?
There's not much. There's not much. Yeah. I always look back. I feel guilty with my wife Jamie because she's stuck with working in tech. She's still in tech. Does a great job at what she does. But yeah, she never had that freedom and independence that we get to enjoy, especially with our kids growing up and being able to be there for them after school and do things that most people working in the office aren't able to do. So
Right.
Yeah.
It's stability though.
Yeah,
I
She
agree.
gets stability.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with this job, like, like you can pick the days during the week
Mhm.
versus like when you do like a regular corporate job, you only have time like on the weekends.
right.
But now you can like, oh, okay, so like what is the best time like during the week to do
Right.
that? I mean,
Yep.
yeah, you can travel or do something with your kids.
Yeah.
Like when it's less crowded. Because I don't know, like the older I get, the more I don't like a lot of people. To be honest, I don't know. I remember when I was young, like I'm like, oh man, the more people, the better.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh my god, that's too
Oh yeah.
too much.
It's
too
pretty
much
normal.
people.
Yeah.
100%.
It's normal to go through that.
Yeah. You just get older and you just want
Yeah.
more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that like my circle is so much smaller now, especially after kids. It's just like, because I think you prioritize your goals better and you prioritize what's important to you.
Yeah.
It's easier to kind of identify as you get older.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in different stages of your lives than I am. But like right now, Jamie and I are being more proactive, I think, with spending more time with our friends. I think we see that in a couple of years, we're going to be empty nesters,
Yeah.
And so we don't want to be empty nesters just sitting at home watching TV either. We want to be out there doing things,
Yeah. I like it.
socializing.
Yeah.
It's so funny though, the way that you talk about yourself,
Yeah.
like you always make it seem like you're like 1,000 years old. It's so, I just find that hilarious.
I know.
It's
But I
like-
don't feel it.
Well,
Okay.
he's not that much
Yeah.
older than us.
Oh.
But he's like, yeah, like you. I've been in this business for 20 years.
My body feels like it's 1,000 years old. Trust me.
Well, my body looks like it's 1,000 years old. So I'd rather have yours. Like my boobs coming out, my back fat. That's another thing for 2025 that I need to take care of. Got to
Yeah.
get back in the fitness game.
Same thing. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back.
You guys going to join the
Yeah,
UFC
gonna
gym
get
with me
I know.
2 years later.
I know.
2 years later. So how's it going so far? Actually,
It's
You like
going
it?
good. Yeah, I don't do any of the classes there.
Okay.
But I just go every morning, or try to go every weekday morning at least.
Do you ever use the bags at all? Like the heavy bags or anything?
No, man, I haven't touched it in so
Dude,
long.
we
And
need to
those UFC gyms. I mean, the people in there are no joke, right? So.
Yeah.
Really though? Like, are they like?
Yeah, I'm
serious?
sure there's beginners, but like when I go in the morning, it's pretty not too packed, but the people that are really serious are there.
so
Like
have
working
you
bags.
ever tried any of the classes?
Yeah, I tried
Yeah?
it. Yeah, and
Like
they were
what-
good.
Like what, kickboxing or?
Yeah,
Yeah?
kickboxing. But those are always like at 6 or 7 at night.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just like,
Oh, at
Oh,
night?
yeah.
In the evening?
yeah.
Oh.
There's some during the day, but I mean, it's just really hard
Okay.
to make that happen, right? So
Yeah. We should get back into Muay Thai, but cool. All right. Well, do we have any final thoughts before we wrap it up for our first test podcast? What do you guys think? Do you guys think this was fun in any way for
Yeah,
anybody to
I
listen
think
to?
it was-
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
natural. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
I wonder if anybody out there is like listening to this and yawning right now.
Probably our wives.
Oh
our
my
three,
God,
our
do you
three
know
viewers.
this
Yeah, dude, they're probably just like, God, you need to get real jobs.
So by the way, like we also have to come up with a name.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
figure that out. That's
What
always
should it
tough.
be?
I had some names in there that
Yeah,
Did I
maybe
send you guys?
maybe
You
after
didn't-
we can.
Weren't they like overly sexual though?
no,
Oh, okay.
maybe one
Or two.
Or two, yeah.
or four. Yeah,
Yeah. All of them. Yeah, we
figure
gotta
it
figure
out.
something out.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then like a catchy, and then I think that the intro song, that and
All right, thank you everyone.
There you go.
See you next time. Yeah.
stupid.
Oh,
Dan,
man.
Brett, and Anton.
See you guys.